What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are going to talk about that good old interview that Destiny recently did with the Ooh Ladies First panel. Okay, I see a lot of people talking about it, but they ain't giving credit to my girls that they done did the interview. Now, y'all watch the interview. Let everybody know that they the ones did the interview. Okay, but I just want to come on and give my little 2 cents of the interview. Okay, so let me start off by saying that kudos to Destiny for actually coming out and telling her form of the truth. Okay. We will never really honestly know. That's why I put a picture of LeBaric up here too, because only these two know what really happened in that relationship, right? Now, as fans of the show, we really want to know who to what, and what did you lie about, and why you're on TV if you don't want to talk about shit. Okay. So that's pretty much why everybody is even engrossed in any of this stuff that's going on with Destiny at the moment. Okay. So the interview was very telling for me. Okay. There were some really um bright red flags in the interview. But I do think that a lot of the things that have been going on online, where there's a lot of things that are public record, right? That are out here that people can see. So she can no longer tell half truths, if you will, or she can no longer hide things as much as she's tried to in the past. Okay. So I'm just going to go through some of the questions that they asked. So, one of the first questions was, how was she casted? So, she told the story about this pink dress that she was wearing, and so one of the producers, really was enamored by her and was like, we really just got to get you guys on the show. So it seems like her and LeBaric were supposed to be like the Tiffany and Lewis, if you will, of the show. And they actually, I will give it to them, were a lot more entertaining when they first came on the show than Tiffany and goddamn Lewis ever have been in the well, I guess you want to call it 2 seasons, season and a half or whatever that they've been on the show so far. I'm still waiting for their asses to get interesting, but anyway. Then they asked about her stint in foster care, which was really I felt like that wasn't really answered either. She said that she was in foster care when she was young, but on the show, it just made it seem like, she just had this really hard life living in foster care. But then we see her have this really good relationship with her father. So it's like, how the hell was your ass in foster care, but you and your dad is tough tight? Like, I don't understand. And why was she never even really answered how she got into the foster care system initially anyway. So apparently her brother went to her mom, and God rest his soul, unfortunately he passed away. But then her dad got custody of her, and she's her father's only child, so he raised her. Then they talk about how they asked how she met Martell. She said, Huntsville is very small, and she was a cheerleader. Martell was a football player. And ironically, apparently, one of her cousins married Martell's cousin. They had a bunch of kids together, ended up getting a divorce, and so on and so forth. And she even said that her dad dated Martell's mama. I'm like, I know you fucking lying. Dating Martell's mama? Oh my goodness. The plot thickens. So then, so basically, her and Martell was almost damn stepsister and brother child. So moving right along, they ended up talking about her issue with Melody and what happened. So basically, she said Melody had they asked the panel asked, Melody have issues with you being friends with Martell. And, basically she said it was okay. She feels like it's okay to be friends with basically the opposition, or if you're married to somebody. So the question was basically built around, if you're friends with a couple, right, and they break up, how do you navigate the friendship with the opposing partner if you were cool with both of them? And she basically kind of explained it to the point of creating healthy balance. And she didn't think it was anything wrong with it, being friends with both of them, but pretty much make sure you're not going back and creating issues or sharing information. But then she revealed that she kind of was shady and alluded to the fact that, oh, okay, it was okay for me to talk to Martell when I was bringing Melody information back. But when that stopped, Melody apparently had an issue with Destiny, which I'm like, well, what the hell is Martell really telling you that Melody will really give a good goddamn about? That's what I want to know. But anyway, one of the panelists asked if she thinks Mel thinks she should speak about Mel to Martell or whatever. Like basically she asked Destiny, should she be talking about Mel to Martell? And here's my thing. I don't think that they harped on that enough, because I didn't really like how she didn't really express um how she felt about going and talking about Mel to Martell. Because at the end of the day, that's really what caused the turmoil in your relationship. You going back and forth, you talking about her to Martell, obviously you talking about him to her. You're saying that you knew him longer, but apparently Martell and LeBaric have been best friends since they were 6 years old. So you really only reconnected. You knew of Martell. Y'all weren't friends in high school. Let's make that clear. That's what it comes off as to me. You really only really developed a relationship with him once you started dating LeBaric. And if that's his best friend, obviously y'all are going to have a relationship, but you didn't have as close of a relationship with him, clearly, as you would have with Melody, because he's LeBaric's best friend. So that's what I got out of that. So the whole Martell and her being tough tight situation was just kind of like, really. So then they ended up talking about, so moving right along, they asked her, when does she watch the show? She said she catches the episodes when she can. Girl, you fucking lying. You be watching every damn episode. Don't even play. And if you on the show, why the hell you not watching the damn show? But whatever. If she ain't watching it, whatever. So anyway, um they asked, is there a reason why you've been so private? And she said, talk to Carlos. She said they said it's she talks about how people are constantly talking about her lack of timeline. Okay, and there is a lack of timeline. It's like, you came on our TV, you married, now you're not married, we don't know why you're not married, you don't want to talk about why you're not married, but yet you're on a reality TV show called Love and Marriage Huntsville. But we don't know what the happened to your marriage and why y'all not loving each other no more. So I'm just like, really, girl? This is not adding up. And it still didn't in this interview. However, like I said, I will maintain that she did give some insight on some things. Okay. So she said basically the reason why she hadn't really been too open about a lot of things is because they agreed not to talk about things on the show. So apparently, once LeBaric decided that he no longer wanted to be in the marriage, he didn't want Destiny to be on the TV show. So they didn't really have anything legally saying that she couldn't talk about him on the show. It seemed to me that it was more of like a word of mouth thing, like, okay, we're not going to talk about each other on the show. And he didn't want to be, I guess, on the show anymore. He wanted to be on the show, but only if she wasn't going to be on the show. But apparently it worked out where Destiny was on the show and his ass wasn't. So I'm just like, what in the world? But apparently he was trying to do his darndest to get her not to film. So therefore she agreed not to speak about him on the show or the divorce decree. But yet you're on this panel divulging all this information. It seems to me that if you were going to talk about your divorce and tell all your BI, you should have did it on the TV show so you can pad that check. That's what I would have been doing. Like, I'm not about to sit up here and tell everybody on this panel stuff for free when I'm getting paid to do it on a TV show. But when you're not talking about your life on a TV show, you obviously are putting yourself in a position to be thrown the fuck off the TV show. Like, if you're not interesting or the viewers feel like you lying and none of the shit that you're saying adds up, why would they even continue to have you on the show? So yes, you bringing all this stuff out now, and I really wholeheartedly believe that the only reason why she's trying to tell her story now and trying to tell the truth, or her form of the truth, or what she wants us to believe is the truth, is because that video came out, kind of busting her chops and giving out all the information that people then went and searched for, that's public knowledge. So moving on, they basically asked, really, how did their relationship come about? So apparently they've been together. They were together for 5 years before they got married. The first year of their relationship, they lived in the same place, but then Destiny moved to Nashville, and then once she moved to Nashville, they would see each other once a week. They were engaged for 2 years, married for 2 years, going through a divorce for 9 months of that time for the 2 years. Okay. And apparently, Homeboy served her the divorce papers while she was in the driveway feeding her son. I'm like, well, what is going on here? What did you do to this man where he's like, you know what? I had enough of you. Okay, enough of you already. I'm ready to get out of this marriage. You're pissing me off. I'm done with you. Like, what? What made him just resort to that at this point? Like, what? Not to say that it's all her fault, because obviously she said that, she didn't really give any details, which that's one of the things that I was really looking to hear about. Um, they didn't really ask what really caused the strife in the marriage. And they tried to ask, but she really didn't say anything. Like, she didn't really say why they weren't getting along or what was causing issues in their marriage, and if they even tried to go to therapy. She talked about her going through therapy a lot on her own, but she didn't really say that, they didn't go to therapy as a couple, unfortunately. Well, that she didn't say that. So they were just she said that the pandemic was a real issue with their marriage, because they didn't really have any breaks from each other. They were used to being long distance, then they're coming together after getting married, and they didn't really have now they're pregnant. They really didn't have much time to, like, really get to know living with one another in the same space. And then the pandemic hit, and now they have to be with each other 24/7. So it sounds like to me, y'all mofos ain't really like each other. Like, that's what it sounds like to me. And this just sound like, you know what, we've been talking all this damn time. We might as well just go ahead. You pregnant? You know what you doing tomorrow? Let's go ahead and get married and whatever, whatever. Like, I didn't really it there didn't seem to be any chemistry, anything or anywhere in this conversation. It seemed like all of this was out of convenience. That's what my take on it was. Okay. So again, very vague about the relationship. Then she talked about when she talked about the divorce papers and being served the divorce papers, she said that, she really isn't a person that wanted to get a divorce. So she kind of ignored it. She walked in the house, acted like she didn't see the papers. And apparently in the state of Alabama, if you ignore it for 30 days, you are officially considered divorced. And so he would get whatever he wanted or whatever he requested in the divorce. So here's my thing. She also said that 2 weeks prior to her receiving divorce papers, that she was thinking about separating from him. Yet you don't agree with divorce, but you were talking to the divorce lawyer. A lot of this stuff just don't make no damn sense. But whatever, you like it, I love it, Destiny. So he beat her to the punch. Okay. And she said that she felt like he was just doing that out of haste or misunderstanding, because when she was in the hospital having law, apparently they just hadn't been getting along. And she was like, if we continue to go this route, we're not going to make it. And she inferred that he took that as them possibly going to get a divorce. So he wanted to beat her to the punch before she divorced him. He wanted to hurry up and get rid of her ass first. Okay. So moving right along, she brought up the fact that, so there was in that video where they talked about LeBaric having full custody of their son. She said that that happened because when, upon the end of the 30 days, I guess approaching the end of the 30 days, she hadn't responded to the divorce, but she ended up getting a lawyer. She said it took a while to get a lawyer, but once she finally got a lawyer, the lawyer looked it up in the system and said, "Oh my God, you're already divorced." And she was like, "What? I know you fucking lying. What the hell?" So she said that she had took some paperwork she gave the paperwork to LeBaric to respond to what he was requesting in the divorce or whatever. But here's my thing. That was really weird to me because why the hell would you give him some paperwork for the divorce and not give it to a lawyer or take it to the courts? I didn't really understand that. Okay. I thought that that was pretty weird because if I'm divorcing you, I'm not going to help you, or I'm not going to accept any paperwork from you that could possibly help you in this whole situation. I'm going to get whatever the hell I want, and I'm going to throw your paperwork in the trash. Like, we're not working together with this. We're trying to separate. And this obviously wasn't an amicable split. Okay. So I thought that was really weird. But anyway, getting to the point, she reached out to this lawyer. The lawyer sees in the system that they apparently have already been, their marriage has already been dissolved in the system. So in that divorce award, he got full custody of the baby. So whatever she did, he had full custody of the baby. Apparently, what she was saying, for only 3 days, because she had to go back and do something to reverse that. And I don't know how you get divorced twice, but on the show, she said she signed some paperwork. So I'm like, okay, if y'all were deemed divorced after 30 days and it was in the system, but then you talked about signing divorce papers, I guess she had to go back and form some type of appeal or whatever. I don't know. It all sounds real shady and cray cray. So they apparently have joint custody at this point. So she gets no child support, nothing. The only thing that she really is getting out of this is that house. And she also mentioned in the interview that she made more money than him in the first, the only time that he made more money than her was the first year of their relationship. So they were together for 5 years, but she apparently made more money than him, even though he has several businesses, works for Boeing. He's, catering for celebrities, doing all this stuff. Public assistance Destiny was making more money than LeBerick. Now, riddle me this, Batman. Why did you have to get your house refinanced out of his name to put it in your name if you had more money than him? Why is y'all house not in both of y'all names? I didn't understand that. Because she talked about how the court, with her getting the house in the the finalization of their divorce, he gave her a year to refinance the house and put it in her name. So my question is, if you had all this money and you were making more money than him, why is it that he was able to pay all the bills with no issues and do all these things, but it was such a struggle for you to do that, but you had more money than him? It didn't make no sense. And she also talked about when she did talk about her struggles with getting pregnant. They were going through, she was working for, she didn't say what company she was working for, but it sounds like she was working for the company that I mentioned in the previous video. She worked for some hotel, um I guess, organization, and selling vacations or whatever. I guess she worked in a corporate environment of sorts. Okay. So she quit her job ultimately because she was like, okay, we're finally pregnant, because she had 5 miscarriages, but her job paid for in vitro. So they were gearing up to do all these things to, gear up to have a baby. And, by the grace of God, a month after they got married, she ended up getting pregnant naturally with Law. So with her getting pregnant naturally, she didn't have to do the in vitro. And they had said that she was going to, therefore stay in Nashville for a year, because I guess that's where her job was, so that they could pay for the in vitro. But since she got pregnant naturally, I guess that's why she went on ahead and moved to Alabama. And she had quit her job, didn't get another job. And she rolled all of her resources into trying to open Madani. Okay. So I'm just like, what the heck? Why would you take all your money and roll it into a business that obviously, she said that she couldn't really do a whole lot of work because she wanted to, pretty much keep her feet up, kick her feet up to make sure that this baby comes, because it was a high risk pregnancy. And she said that LeBerick wasn't helping her financially. He felt like him paying the bills in the house was enough. Like, you got a roof over you. She said he made the comment of, you got a roof over your head. That should be enough. And I'm just like, wow. Like, she made it seem like in the video they said that he's very frugal, so he don't really like to spend a whole bunch of money. But she mentioned how he would shower her, I guess, with gifts or whatever before they got married, but he wasn't doing the same things to keep her once they got married. So what I am kind of concluding in my own head from all of this stuff is, she wanted to spend homeboy's money and he wasn't with the games. He wasn't trying to be spending all his money. He's trying to build a business. He's trying to be financially savvy, do what he needs to do to, pretty much be financially responsible. Y'all have a kid. And then you want to go open up businesses that obviously you didn't really put a full thought process into. You didn't have the financial load that was needed to properly build this place out and get this business going. And you quit your job without the security of knowing that your husband was going to help you with your business. So a lot of this stuff, two and two ain't adding up to make four for Miss Destiny, for me. Okay. Let's look at some of these comments. Denise Harris, me too. Oh, girl, I wish I had to put it up earlier so I can know what you were saying. Me too, too. Four. But thank you for watching. I appreciate you. She said LB name was on the house. That was a lie because I looked it up. Both names is on there. He wants his name off. That's why she has to refinance and get her own financing. Okay, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Listen, that public knowledge, it ain't gonna lie now. Okay. Seems like her credit wasn't up to par if she had to wait to refinance it under her name. I believe it was Gaylord Opryland was who she was employed by. Okay, okay, okay. See, this is what happens when you get the facts straight. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody, for watching. Please, 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 like and comment, subscribe, do all those amazing things for your girl. Okay. But here's a thing that I noticed that they did not answer ask her in the interview. They didn't ask her. The baby's paternity was questioned a lot too. So I wonder if she didn't talk about what was causing the strife in their marriage, because that could have been a piece of it, allegedly. I'm not sure. But they didn't ask about the paternity the questioning of paternity that most people, like viewers, were asking about. Um, they didn't ask about the financial turmoil. Why did she forego getting out of financial turmoil? Because even with the house, okay, now we're learning that both of their names are on the house, right? So we cleared that up. Both names are on the house, so she would have had to refinance it to get the house in her name. But she also did reveal she had an option of, if she stayed in the house, right? They would have to, or no, if they sold the house, they would have to split whatever the overage was of whatever they got for the house. Or if she refinanced the house, they would have to split the equity. Okay. So either way, I would have sold that damn house. Because if you have to go down here and get on public assistance, which also we're going to get into that, she never said what form of public assistance she was on. She never really divulged the truth about that. Okay. And I think, and like I said, I think the reason why she only was coming out with some of this stuff is because whoever this person is that revealed this information to the blogger has to be somebody in his family. And she even said that. She said the only way that somebody would have known this information is if it was somebody in his family. Okay. Linda Gamble says, "Me too. Destiny is still lying about things." Absolutely. I think her ass is still lying too. If Mel would have continued to be cool with LB, Destiny would have had a problem with it. Facts. Abso-freaking-lutely. She wouldn't have wanted to talk to her. I believe Destiny and Martell may had dealings with each other, child. That would be a whole hot ass mess. Okay. All right, y'all. So let's get into some of this other stuff. So, this was hella funny. Okay. Um, so Destiny, they asked her about the situation with Mel. Okay. So they talked about, she said, she still supports Mel and all this, that, and the third. They would probably never be as cool as they were before. But she said she even supported Mel by purchasing some of Mel's products. And Child, Mel refunded the damn order. I about fell out on the floor. I said, the level of petty. Be like, look here, little bitch. I don't need your coins. Okay. You know what? It's free. Go ahead. It's on the house. Cause you know what? I don't want you to say you did anything for me. Okay. I want to dissolve this. We don't need to have a conversation. Don't even call me to tell me about a review of the product. You can have that. Just going on now. Going on. I don't want to be your friend anymore. It's like, damn, Mel, you had to refund the girl's damn purchase. So then they talked about her having this conversation with Letitia. So Destiny says that when Mel came to the door, she first of all, Destiny said that she doesn't believe that Mel's room was right next door to hers. Which I'm like, girl, how the hell you gonna say that her you don't think her room was next to you? Did you go over there and knock on the door and see? But anyway, she said apparently when she got to the hotel, she's a bit bougie, so she had to move rooms 3 times because she wasn't satisfied with the rooms that they gave her. And I'm like, well, girl, for you to be on using public assistance, I mean, you can't be acting too bougie now. We got to humble our damn selves, okay? But anyway, apparently by the time she had got to that third room, which I'm like, if they putting you next to Melody, you must have been in a damn suite at this point. So she was like, the rooms that they gave her initially were too small, and I guess she couldn't fit the glam squad in there or whatever. I don't know, child. But she ended up next to Melody. But she doesn't believe that she was in the room next to Melody. She feels like Melody had figured out what room she was in and came to her room to give her new number, because she said that the reason why Mel wasn't getting her messages is because she changed her phone number. So I'm like, okay, so you basically just told on yourself. You didn't have Mel's number, so you texting her and checking to see why she's not responding to you and all this stuff is because you didn't have her new phone number. So all of this minutia that y'all got going back and forth is really a bunch of BS. So anyway, she says Mel comes to the door to give her new phone number, and she hears her, and she sees that Letitia is in the room. Melody didn't even come in the room, and she said Mel just walks off saying, yeah, and these walls are thin or something of like that, to that nature, like she could hear everything that they were talking about. And she said that she assured her that they weren't in there talking about her. Which I'm like, I don't bit more believe that than the man in the moon. That woman is not going to harbor this much energy towards you if she didn't hear you saying something negative about her. Then she says, I knew her ass was lying when she said this. She said that Tisha has never said anything bad about Mel to her. Now, I know you fucking lying, okay? Tisha can't go to bed at night without talking crap about Mel or hating on her in some shape, form, or fashion. Like, that lady lives rent free in a lot of these women's heads on this show, and I don't understand why. But all in all, y'all, the interview she did, she actually confirmed a lot of the things in that video that I previously created was actually true. But what I get from this is I think that Destiny wanted to live a life of leisure. I think that she felt like LeBeric wasn't, she kept saying that he wasn't financially supportive enough for her. And I'm just like, okay, girl, so you wanted him to take care of you. That's basically what this is all about. You wanted to be a kept woman. You wanted to try to turn into this overnight boss bitch, but you wanted him to be the person to finance it. And if you are married to a miser, somebody that is cheap or somebody that want to save a coin, like, what the hell? And she also said that he was a mama's boy. And some of the issues that they had was he didn't know how to leave and cleave. Okay. So, and that can be a struggle in a marriage too, when somebody is constantly having outside elements in your marriage. However, y'all got to work that out. Because if y'all sitting up here arguing over silly stuff or everything is a freaking debate, and that's what makes me feel like when she said that she was in the driveway and got the divorce papers and she ain't go in the house and say nothing, I don't bit more believe that and than the damn anybody in the man in the moon, because Destiny likes to tussle, okay? Homegirl loved a tussle. So I know she probably went in there and cussed him a new one. So I don't believe that. It's just there's a lot of missing pieces. However, this did rip the band-aid off of a lot of things and confirm some things that we all were already freaking thinking. But at this point, LeBeric, where you at? Because I want to hear your side of the story, because it's always three sides: her side, his side, and the truth. And I feel like we ain't get the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help her lies, okay? But I do feel like she did reveal some things. I think that she probably was more of an integral part of this thing, kind of not working out. She's saying that she doesn't say much about LeBeric because everything seems to turn into a legal battle. So she said it wasn't like, it wasn't they didn't put it on legal paper that she can't talk about him. However, apparently he served Carlos with something before the reunion where he was prohibited from asking Destiny certain questions. But then I'm like, is that true? Because he did. I remember Carlos asking her about why her marriage was over, and she didn't respond. So I'm like, if he got some type of cease and desist or whatever, why would he go ahead and say, you know what, fucking, I'm gonna ask a question anyway? I mean, I know Carlos the King is, the king of reality TV and all, but he ain't about to be trying to tussle with nobody in court. Okay. So that was a little unclear to me too. But listen, y'all, I don't know. Her relationship with Mel, I just chopped that up too. Mel is just like, I can't. You up here talking about, you did bring information back to me about Martell. What makes me think that you not going back and talking shit about me to him? Then I hear you talking about, you can't convince me that she wasn't, her and Tisha wasn't pairing and sharing negativity about Mel. I don't believe that she giving him paperwork for the divorce to be over. Why would you give it to him? Give it to the lawyer. She want to keep a house that she obviously can't afford. You said you made more money than him, but you want him to take care of you financially, and now you don't have no money. You was on public assistance. We still don't know what public assistance you was on. Child, it's too much. It's team all the way too much. Then she did reveal that Melody did give her money via PayPal, but she was like, she just really kind of expressed how she thought it was tacky for her to say that. Here's my thing. When you dragging my name through the mud all up and around the town and on vacation and through the woods and all around the mulberry bush, what you're not about to do is keep on dragging me, and I'm gonna just keep on accepting it. That's dead. So you need to know that I see you, and people need to know that I have been a good friend to you. And they did ask, do you think that Mel was a good, why didn't you do you think that Mel was a good friend? And she said, well, by her bringing up the whole PayPal situation and all that, and kind of throwing things in my face that you've done for me or whatever, that doesn't really show signs of a good friend. However, Melody was, I will say, she was a good friend to me. And then they said, well, why didn't you say that when Tisha was kind of coming for Mel? Like, you ain't have her back. And Mel felt like you didn't have her back. And she was like, well, that wasn't really my bag to hold. Like, that was Tisha expressing herself. But ain't no goddamn way that somebody that has done as much for me that Mel has done for Destiny, apparently, because she said that her and Mel were like tough tight. Like, Mel was really there for her. It's no way I'm gonna sit on a stage next to a bright red orange chick, a chocolate drop in an orange dress, talking shit about my friend, and I'm gonna let her do it. Ain't no damn way. I would have been like, listen, and Carlos asked her. He said after Tisha had made all her comments, her negativity splash on Mel, he turned to Destiny and was like, Destiny, what do you think? Like, what's your experience been with Mel? And she kind of confirmed what Tisha was saying. She didn't say, oh, well, Mel has been nothing but a good friend to me. You didn't say that. So it's like, girl, you full of shit. Like, I feel like throughout this interview, she told some truths because she had to, but I also feel like she's still on this sympathy train. And it's just like, girl, just, I would have liked it if she had just been like, listen, y'all, I know I ain't said nothing about my marriage. I was being stubborn. I ain't want to tell y'all my business, but I realized I'm on TV, so I'm gonna go ahead and just let it all out. And here's the tea. Here it is. It's not lukewarm no more. Which I want to know. I got you. That's how I would have started the interview, and I would have just told the truth the whole time and stopped trying to be. I don't know. The whole secretive mission is just really killing me. LOL. Mel told us on her live that she didn't need her fake support. Thank you, Mrs. Carruthers. Yeah, Mel was like, take this little nothing. Take this back. Giving the paperwork to him makes no damn sense. Why am I giving you the paperwork, sir? Chrislyn Wanamaker, she said that's why she was given time to put the house in her name. Okay, got you. All right, y'all. Well, that's all I have to say about this situation. I just, listen, if Destiny is going to be on there next season, or I just really listen, y'all already know I done said it in my interview, in my review, my last review. I feel like Kiki about to replace Destiny ass because she is coming on the show and bringing it guns blazing. Okay. And I don't know what's going on with Stormy. Oh, I will tell y'all this. She did talk about Stormy, and she said that she had reached out to Stormy because they asked her what was her relationship with Stormy. And y'all know Stormy has her Canvas Beauty, hair care line. And she said that, she had reached out to Stormy because she knew that, I guess she knew she was coming on the show or something like that, and to get some of her products in the store. And apparently Stormy never reached back out to her to get the products in the store. They had communicated about basically what it's like being on the show and how you're shown. And she kind of gave her some advice about not, every other word not being a curse word or whatever, because Stormy even said she liked to cuss. She liked to, be a wordsmith with the best of them and cussing all the time. That's what she do. So they kind of talked about that. But apparently Destiny was like, yeah, she was no longer interested in talking to Stormy anymore after that. And I think she alluded to her feeling like Melody had some influence over Stormy not wanting to do business with her. Here's my thing. I get it. Feeling some type of way if you think that Melody is telling people not to do business with you. But at the end of the day, sis, these are grown ass women. Okay. And Big Sister Almighty ain't about to tell me what to do. Somebody called her Big Sister Almighty in one of my videos the other day, and I thought it was damn funny. But yeah, you're not about to tell me who to what. I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do because I'm a grown ass woman just like you. So you have to accept responsibility for the energy that you're giving off for why people may not want to do business with you. Hell, your store is always empty. Apparently, people are saying your store halfway opened. Like you're not really open. So why would I want to put I have a successful brand. Why would I want to put my products in your damn store? Cause who gonna come buy them, sis? Like, let's be for real. Let's be serious. What are you doing to even get any customers or maintain any customers? Glad Melanie leaving. She has no storyline without dragging Martell, Kiki, too much Stormy, whack, and trying too hard. That's hilarious. Thank you for commenting, Diva2731. They blame Mel for everything. Listen, I wonder what the hell they would have to talk about if, you know what I mean, Mel wasn't there. I don't know, y'all. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for watching. That's my summary of the hour and a half long video. So I just gave y'all the cliff notes to break it down. Destiny still holding back, but she did hold true to some of the things that I reported in my previous video of that. I'll put it in the comments here so you can go back and watch it. That's a very short video too, and that kind of pretty much gives detail to a lot of the things that she was being questioned about. So thank you guys for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with somebody else that wants the cliff notes too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.